wig is not the devil. It's how you put importance on the wig. The wig is not the enemy. The braid's not the enemy. These are fun things. They look great. It's just making sure that we rotate them out. So don't feel guilt for your beautiful wig. You look fabulous. It's giving Michelle Obama. You look wonderful. Okay? Don't you ever feel guilty. Okay? But when it's time to take it off, take it off with your chin up and enjoy the time with it off, just like you had it on. That's all I'm saying.
Hey everyone, my name is Ashlyn, also known as the what, the who, the female hustler boo. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you are not new. In this video, I will be talking about black girls and our hair. As you can see, I'm black, I have hair, and I really have noticed a decline in us wearing our natural hair and how we view it as something positive. And let's get right into the video. So if I'm ever looking down, it is because I have written notes to keep me on track. But to start off, I want to talk about, like, I'm not trying to convert anybody or be like, oh, I'm better than you because I wear my natural hair, things like that. No, I will be honest. Just in May, I was wearing bundles. I used to wear braids back to back to back. Like, any style, I did it. I probably did a style and the girls followed after me. I did not play. But I do believe that there is something in this braiding hair that is different from how it used to be, like in 2017, 2018. I mean, this came out, like, some braiding hair companies, the hair is not good for our hair. It's poisonous. It can cause cancer. It's just, a lot of things are changing. And that kind of reminds me of food. Like, food back in the day might have been more fresh than what food is today. And that's how I look at braiding hair. I really wanted to start off by talking about how powerful our hair is. Our hair is literally in the Bible. It's literally in the Bible. There's this one verse, and I forgot his name, but the guy's hair gets stuck in a branch, or like a part of like a tree, right? And no shade to white people or people with thin hair, but your hair is not getting stuck in a tree. Like, you're not gonna be running away from something and your hair snags on where you can't move. So what kind of hair is that? That's thick hair, meaning that's hair like this. Our hair is in the Bible. I will put up different quotes as I'm not going to try to remember it and paraphrase and be very bad, but our hair is literally in the Bible. It is so powerful. And I do believe there are people out there that do not look like us who know that. We are the ones that do not, because they have stripped away our identity and things like that, or they have tried to left and right to make us forget where we came from. Like, guys, Jesus was black. You understand what I'm saying? Where in the Bible is it usually located? White people are not there in the desert and things like that. And, like, the people there look like myself, darker, or maybe a little bit lighter, but you're not going to find your average Caucasian person in the setting where the Bible takes place and all those different stories. Like, you're just not going to do that, especially not back at that time. Like, Jesus was black. If we don't understand that by now in 2026, it's not, like, you need to watch other videos before you watch this one. But I say all that to say, like, our hair is powerful, right? And so if you think about it now, fast forward some years, right? Now we are enslaved, unfortunately, things of that nature. And one of the things that the slave owners would do is cut off our hair, because it's part of stripping your identity. In jail, what do? They cut off your hair. When you go to the army, what do? You have to cut off your hair. You cannot have locks. You cannot have, you know, like me, I would have to slick this back. Like, hair plays a big role in things, and if people have control over your hair, they have control of you because of how powerful hair is.
You were told to hate your hair. Cover it, lighten, flatten, cut it, anything but embrace it. In the 1700s, we were forced to hide it, and they shaved it to demonstrate our loss of freedom. But once we were free, our crowns were still showing. Imagine making blackness look wrong. But our hair was never the problem. The attempt to control it was. Now we wear our crowns proud, because our roots will always be ours.
If someone were to take like a razor or whatever and just shave my head, like just one side of my head, that is going to affect me, because hair makes you, right? You could wear all these funky, cool styles and you like it because hair is your identity at the end of the day. Like, it's part of your identity, right? It plays a role into who you are, how you are viewed, and things of that nature. It is not by mistake that these people cut off your hair. And like back in slavery times, they would cut off our hair and use this as like a cushion for like a sofa or something, or like a chair. Like, it is not by mistake that they understood that hair is our identity. It is not by mistake that we used to braid our hair and make mapped out of cornrows. Like our hair is powerful. I keep saying hair, but understand that I'm talking about our hair. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to get that out the way. I have worn fake hair. This is not me coming from a place where it's just like, oh, I've never worn fake hair, so I can't speak on that. Like, it's not a biased opinion. Like, I've lived both sides. You understand what I'm saying? Because there are some people who, they might get up here and they have never wore a sew-in, a clip-in, nothing of the ends, and be like, yep, natural, natural, natural. Like, no, I've been on the other side. I've worn braids and all of that, like I said before. So I understand. And so our hair, a lot of times as black girls, and maybe even black boys, is looked at as too much to handle, right? Fast forward, like, maybe 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, like, in that realm, right? I remember seeing a commercial, not I remember, but I saw a commercial. I wasn't born then, but I saw a commercial of, like, perming our hair, and I could put it up on a screen, but it was just how straighter has always been better. Like, the Eurocentric way of looks and things like that. Like, that is always deemed as prettier, acceptable, to keep your hair straight, to perm your hair so you don't have to worry about dealing with your thick curls and things like that. Like, nothing that I'm saying is new. Wearing the fake hair is not new. It just looks different. So I say all that to say that we are taught as young black girls, and I could only speak for girls because I am a girl. I mean, I feel like young boys probably share some similarity, but I'm not too well versed in that area, so I don't feel comfortable speaking on that. But as young black girls, we're taught to slick it back, put it up, put it in braids because it's a protective style, and not worry about it. A protective style no longer becomes protective if you don't treat your natural hair right. Like, and I'll get into that a little bit more in depth in a minute, but like, if something is super tight causing tension on my hair, it's no longer protecting my hair. It's just making me not have to brush my hair every single day and things like that, or not have to worry about it in the same capacity. But now I'm creating tension, my scalp is irritated, and where does the hair grow from? The scalp. You know, that's the root of everything. That is what we're taught as young black girls, leading us to not know how to then take care of our hair. And all we want to do the minute we take out a sew-in, or we take out braids, or we take out whatever, is slick it right back up, book the appointment, pay the deposit, and go right to somebody's stylist who learned how to do hair through YouTube. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with going to YouTube University. There's nothing wrong. But the issue now becomes when that stylist grew up with the same mindset, right? So now they don't know how to take care of their own hair. Now they're doing hair for everybody else, ruining that person's hair. That has happened to me. I'm getting my hair done because she knows how to do braids really well. Not the stylist that I've been going to now. Well, you know, we judge the stylist by if they could do hair nicely, if the parts are straight, if this and that, and maybe, you know, the price is a determining factor for some of us, right? I know it is for me. But we don't sit and realize, like, does our hairstylist even know how to take care of the natural hair? Because it doesn't matter how many times you know, stretch the braiding hair and you put the gel on the scalp and make the parts and how good it looks. Like, at the end of the day, this is what I'm left with. This is mine. This is mine, okay? This has to be healthy before anything fake goes in it. And a lot of times these stylists don't know how to take care. Ignore the siren in the back. A lot of the time these stylists don't know how to take care of their own hair. A lot of the times these stylists don't know how to take care of their own hair, so then all they know how to do is the fake styles. And now they're charging, right? And hey, get your money, but don't harm others in the process. And sometimes, and you know, I'm kind of like lenient, and when I say that, I mean, like, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that we don't know how to take care of our hair, but it becomes our fault when we then don't decide to learn, right? Us being young girls, getting our hair done by our mothers, or our mothers just throwing us in a salon for somebody else to do it, that is not our fault, right? But now that we are older and have all these resources like YouTube, and we could learn about our hair porosity and things of that nature, now it's time for us to learn. Like, I used to, during COVID, I was learning a lot about my hair. My hair was in braids, but I was learning a lot about my hair, so that when I took out the braids, my wash day looks different. I did a hair porosity test. What products work for me? And that's the other thing, and I'm not going to get on a tangent with that, but I will say there aren't a lot of products that work for us black girls, us young black women. There really aren't. I love Pattern by Tracee Ellis Ross, and I'm getting on a tangent here, but it's just, once you use it, like once you actually learn your natural hair and learn what products work for you, I really started to realize, like, there is not much for us. And so I used to wonder, like, why is everyone coming out with a hair brand, right? Every black celebrity. And it's like, it's not like I would say that to not support them. I just wondered. But like, I see it now. As a girl who wears her natural hair often, we need it, right? But we don't need just anything. We need high quality things that actually work. And Pattern, it's not sponsored, but I really just happen to really love Pattern. But moving on to stay on track, it's not the hairstylist's fault, or it's not our fault. It just becomes our fault when we don't then decide to learn. We're not going to do woe is me for the rest of our lives. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You can't be 30 years old and not know how to take care of your hair. Not with these resources out here now. Learn your hair. You might even feel like, okay, well, let me make my own hair treatment. Let me go down to the, what is it? Not the supermarket, but like the big grocery stores, farmer's market. I think it's a farmer's market. You might decide to go down to a farmer's market and get certain seeds or like certain things that are natural and make your own hair mask, right? You might decide to do that. Like, you cannot be 30 and up not knowing how to take your hair and put anything in your hair. You like, because, and I'm not just saying 30 is the age where you need to learn. No, I'm saying in a way where it's like, you need to prioritize yourself, right? You can't just keep prioritizing your hair appointments, paying deposits, and you have no edges. You know, the back of your hair, I think it's like the nape of your, like the nape is broken off. Like, I'm still learning my hair in no way, shape, or form. Is my hair perfect? Not at all, but I'm learning. You know, and it's like, at what point is an excuse at this point? You know, as a little girl, it's not an excuse, but at 30 years old, at 25 years old, it might be an excuse. And don't let the lack of resources stop you. It's one thing to not have the money to buy said hair product, but it's another thing to like, okay, well, what can I change now? I can at least learn what hair porosity I have. That's as simple as a strand from your hair, because we do shed, our hair does shed. Getting a strand from your hair, doing a water test, right? You can look up how to do that. And just figuring out what you can now, so that if and when, well, you're gonna get money. So when you get some money, you can now apply that. So going on to my point 2, like I said, I do have notes over here. I just want to go into, because everyone seems to love 2016 for some odd reason. I personally feel like, well, technically that was redundant because I'm talking about myself and I said personally, but I feel like 2017, 2018 was better, but that is not the point. But since everybody loves talking about 2016, can we talk about how hard it was to be a black girl with 4A and down? I'm talking 4A, 4B, 4C kind of hair in 2016. And this is no shade to the girls I'm going to put up on the screen. But when you have girls with the looser curls, and I might put pictures of who I'm talking about. I just remember this one influencer, and all the guys thought she was very pretty. I mean, she still is very pretty, but like, it's hard. And I was young then. Like, I was super young, and it's hard to find yourself pretty, or to, you know, like to deem your hair as pretty or even worthy if that's not what is shown. And that is nothing new. Like, that's why a lot of times, going back to what I said, there were commercials talking about how we permed our hair, how we wanted our hair straight, like just certain ways that was deemed as pretty. Now, this was different. Like, this was like the acceptable black girl. Okay, if you're going to wear curly hair, it needs to look like this. It needs to be a loose curl. This tight curl, guys, let me tell you, and I'm not trying to be messy, I had a family member who said to me, we were like 17 at the time. I think he was 17. Either way, he had said he doesn't like girls with tighter curls. I'm girl with tighter curl. And I don't think he realized how ignorant that is to say, but that is what happens. Like, sometimes I hear a lot of, oh, men like when women wear their natural hair, when black women wear their natural hair. Yeah, but however, comma, it needs to look like 3A, 3B, 3C, and up. Okay? Because and that's not all men. That is not all men. But there are a lot of men who, when they say that, they forget that there's some specificity with that. Like, they're not talking about us 4B girlies and down. They are not. Okay? Not all. But there's a lot more who grab the mics on their podcast and decide to say something like that, right? So it makes us girls in the 4 community feel some type of way. And I just remember 2016, I hated my hair. And I could confidently say that. I hated my hair. I hated my hair because I didn't know my hair. I hated my hair because I hated my hair because it wasn't deemed as pretty or acceptable. It was thick. And my mom She does not have curls like me. Like, this is a braid out. This isn't my curls per se. This is a braid out. I have 4B hair. And maybe like a little bit 4A in the front, but it's mainly 4B. My mom has, like, she's in the 3 family, like 3A, 3B and stuff. She's in the 3 family. So when you grow up and the women in your family who raised you, because I was raised by all women, don't even have hair that looks like you, and you're about the only one who has this kind of hair, like, oh my gosh, like, it was not a good time for me when it came to that and my image and how I viewed myself. And then, like I said, I had a mom who had different hair textures, so she didn't understand how to take care of my hair. So it's like, the best thing, the best option, just put it in braids, because nobody knows what to do with it. Braids is like the default in the black community when you don't know how to deal or to take care of your hair, or how, you know, you don't have the time to take care of your hair. Braids. Now going on to my third point. I think I'm at 3. I might be at 4. Just follow along with me. Going back to what I said earlier about protective styles. Protective styles no longer become protective if it's damaging another part of your hair. Okay, yeah, you're not brushing your hair every day because it's in knotless braids, or you have a sew-in, so, you know, as they say, scalp braids or something like that, right? Okay, cool. But how tight are your braids? Are you oiling your scalp? When you have a sew-in, 9 times out of 10, you're not oiling your scalp, because there are girls who will wear a sew-in, who will wear a sew-in. I used to be girls. Understand, I'm never talking from a place of just not knowing, like, of ignorance. There used to be girls, or I used to be one of the girls, but there are girls who wear a sew-in for 2 months, maybe 3 months, maybe longer, and I'm not judging. But I say this to say that, yeah, you think it's protective, but your hair hasn't been out of that tension, you know, it's still braided up. You're not oiling your scalp. Your hair is dry. Your hair is brittle. So now when you take out your hair, yes, it's going to like shed and, you know, do the things of it's going to naturally do. But now it's even worse because it's been dry. It hasn't been moisturized. It hasn't had a chance to breathe in X amount of months. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point can we, you know, look at a protective style for what it is? Were our braids supposed to be in our head for almost 2 months without any oil on our scalp? Are they? You know what I'm saying? And we could talk about clip-ins, and then it's just like the clip itself, like how good is that for it to sit that close to our scalp? Like, it's just so many things. If we break it down, how protective is it? And what methods? And like, am I keeping up my trims? Because I could get all these protective styles back to back. Oh, I'm protecting my hair. It's going to grow. And then your hair's not growing. And I've been in that field. Your hair's not growing because you're not keeping up with trims. It's like there's certain things in place. If you're going to do X, make sure it fits in here, 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 so it fits. Now, I do not say wear your sewing 4 months, 3 months, 2 months. I do not recommend that. I just do not. That's not good for your hair. Our hair needs to be washed. Now, we're taught like, oh, we don't need to wash our hair every day. And no, I don't believe we need to wash our hair every day. I feel like that could be very drying. But I do feel like us as black girls need to wash our hair more often than what we were taught. Wash your hair once a month. No. No, that is not good. But we do not know that. So this is not a judgment video. This is stuff I had to learn. Right? You have to think about it. Like, this is skin. This is our scalp. This is skin. So if you only wash your skin once a month, you have all this buildup, all this stuff, a lot of blockage. Like, I wouldn't want to grow either. I do not feel welcome if I'm a hair strand and it's a whole bunch of crap right here. Like, you know, that would be me as a hair strand. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it's just certain things we have to unlearn. And because we have been taught a certain way for years by our great-grandmothers, our grandmothers, our mothers, and so on and so forth, just because there are just been so many things in place, we don't know. But like I said, you don't know what you do not know. But once you know, now it's time for you to change that behavior. Okay, that's where people always like, oh, I don't know what I don't know. Yeah, but now you know. So how do you change that, right? My fourth point is we're gonna talk about bad hairstylists. I live in Atlanta. There's a plethora of them. I mean, this way, that way, that way, that bad hairstylists everywhere. Do you understand? I got charged a thickness fee in less than a year of me living here. Because I came in with my hair blow dry. Now, when my hair is blow dry, it's big, but it's not tangled. I would understand if it was tangled, but it's big. I am not going to press my hair for you to do stitch braids. If you do not know how to do hair on like blown out hair and it needs to be bone straight for you to know how to do hair, you're not a hairstylist. You're not a good one. You're not. Because that's ridiculous, right? So there are bad hairstylists left and right. And like I said, you think you're getting a protective style, but your hairstylist does not know how to take care of her hair. She did not learn anything about hair but to how to put some fake hair in hair. So now when she does your hair is not protected. It goes back to exactly what I said before. So it's like, yeah, you're going to this hairstylist because you know you look cute, you can take some IG pictures and do the whole nine, you pay your deposit, she plucked your wig, she did the whole nine, but okay, yeah, she plucked your wig while your wig cap was drying and she's just now getting to your wig. Like, we could get into stuff like that, like the ethics of things, but this is more so of you booking that appointment and your hair still being the same length it was when you first went to this person. Or let's say you go to this hairstylist for like a year and your hair is not growing. Hair grows. Hair grows. Okay, genetics play a part, but hair at the end of the day, healthy hair is going to grow. And it's going to grow, and it's up for us to know how to retain it. Length retention is different. Your hair could grow, but if you don't retain it, it's just like I don't know what to compare it to, but it's like, what's the point? You know, so I am in the process of learning length retention and things like that because I have high porosity hair. It gets dry super fast. So it's just like, how can I moisturize it enough, you know, keep up with my trims? There's just certain things that my hair requires and as I'm learning. But I say that to say, bad hairstylists aren't going to tell you. I remember I was in the Dominican salon and I grew up going to the Dominicans. My hair was longer than ever. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, I get a silk press for a decent price. You know, they do what they need to do. I'm getting my hair done, and it's a girl. She doesn't even look over the age of 13. And if she is, that's the oldest she is. She, like, this was all gone. She had no edges. It looked like patches of hair. It looked very thin. Like, it was ripped out. Whether she got into a fight, whether it was tight hairstyles. It didn't look like alopecia. Like, that's different. It looked like she does not know her hair, and her mother doesn't know her hair to teach her. Like, but I bring that up not to judge the girl, but to judge the hairstylist, because you should not feel comfortable taking any heat to that, you know, to her hair. You need to teach this young woman, like, I don't feel comfortable doing X because what your hair needs right now is not a silk press. It needs X, Y, and Z. But a lot of hairstylists look at doing hair as a money grab, quick and easy money. So they don't care about your hair health, right? And like I said, it didn't look like alopecia. And I don't judge anyone like that. Like, I'm never judging the person when it comes to what their hair looks like the condition it is in. Because like I said, we just don't know. But now it's up for us to learn. So, but when I looked at that little girl, I just felt so bad. Because it's like someone felt comfortable being like, yeah, you can go get a silk press. No. Like, where can we start? What does it look like? But in a lot of times, it's like, okay, what might be the healthiest for her may not make her feel confident. Which I totally understand. Like, that was me basically for like years upon end. 12, 13, 14. The healthiest thing might not make you look, or might not make you feel confident, because now you have to rock your natural hair, because putting it in this, aka covering it up, is only going to damage it, you know? So it's like a double-edged sword, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's more expensive to have to buy and to book the appointments and to do the whole nine versus taking time to learn your hair. And it's just patience. And I know it's hard to be patient because hair can grow slowly. You know, natural hair, especially with tighter curls, is not deemed a certain way. It could just be like, feel like a losing battle, like very pointless. I get it. I understand. But then it's just one of the things where it's like, you have to put societal beliefs, societal pressures to the side and choose yourself. But I said that to say, please learn your hair. This is not a video about hair length, but of hair health and how to retain length. If that is something that you want, like, just keep your hair healthy at the end of the day. Know your hair. Stop being so quick to slap on a wig or to put braids in your hair without knowing, okay, how can I make, you know, the most of this by making sure my hair is moisturized, or, you know, all the things that we talked about. But my name is Ashlyn, also known as the what? The who? Come on, boo. The female hustler, boo. And thank you guys so much for watching.